Yo, pana, fum de la grasa, nigga.
Feel like the one, feeling it stuck. This ain't no what, that's diamond in the cup. Light on my shoulders, I'm getting them rough. Money don't fold up, I feel like Pac in the tub. Showered in gold chains, knots on me. They got the slices, I stay with the block of cheese. Broccoli pressure, boy cost me 43. Hey, I stay in my lane, don't fuck with no one. Fuck with no one. Whoa. If you mad, hold your horses, I'm still going up. You cannot stop it, just sit back and watch it. I pull up in different whips, yeah, I got options. Don't play with that sneak dissing, boy, you try-ters. Just see me in person that wanna talk about it. I feel like I'm, who you feel like? I feel like I'm pocking the tub with the chains on. Whole lot of gold. They want me to turn it down, I gotta stay on. It never go out. We ain't dimming the lights, no. Going out like dirt bikes. 12 o'clock. Everybody eating over here. Having more than one bite. Only the team get to play. Why? Only the team get to stay. Yeah. Silver spoon where they were with me. Dogs aggressive like they never ate. Savages. Ops too quiet on the other side. Where they at? But I know they ain't plotting. Fuck with me, you die.
You die. Yo. Yo. We in this thing. What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob. Back at y'all with another live, man. I apologize for coming on as late as I did. I told Claymore Rain I was going to be on at 10:30. Ain't that about a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Came on totally, probably about 2 hours late, man. I apologize for that, but I still got, I got 6 people in the building right now, man. Hit the like button as soon as you come in, man. It is deeply appreciated. We got some things that we need to talk about. You know what I'm saying? These ain't going to be like a heavy conversation throughout the entire video, but I'm going to put up some random, we gonna discuss random boxing topics and things of that nature. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to bring some people on today, man. It's a Saturday night. I ain't got shit to do, so let's get to the boxing talk. You know what I mean? Let's get to it. Before I do that, shout out to my boy Notes. Yo, you a troll for that profile pic, bro. You shot the fuck out. I know who that is, too. That's why I was laughing at the beginning of my live. Shout out to 3 Heads, Slime Way. What's going on, y'all? I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful night. You know what I mean? It's a good day. I got some rest. Can't really complain. It's probably why I'm full of energy right now. I ain't too tired or nothing like that. So we definitely gonna get into it, man. Yo, but before this a little bit off topic, but did y'all see that that first person shooter music video with J. Cole and Drake? Did anybody see that music video? Yo, bro, I can tell they spent a bag on that music video, bro. You know what I'm saying? Crazy music video, bro. Probably the music video of the year, for real. How the way they put that together, bro, like the creativity behind that, bro, that shit was just ahead. That shit ahead of its time right there, boy. That shit different. That shit look like an actual movie for real. But all right, we ain't gonna get into hip hop or anything like that. It's a totally different topic. That is not my area of expertise. So let's get into the boxing talk. You know what I'm saying? JA05, he said niggas was waiting for Shakur to slip up. They crucifying that man. Of course. And I spoke on this yesterday. I don't think it would have been as bad if Shakur Stevenson didn't really adopt that villain rule. Shakur has really been talking crazy about everybody. You know what I'm saying? He came up to Kambosos and was like, yo, what's up? Let's get a fight, and I bet you I'll stop you. So, of course, he rubbed Kambosos the wrong way. He's gotten into it with Tank Davis on different occasions, even though Tank didn't say nothing directly to Shakur. Of course, him and Devin Haney got a little bit of a personal back and forth beef going on social media. So we already knew that Devin Haney was gonna say something about his performance. So it's like when you play the villain role, it's almost a given. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. Like if you talk crazy about people and you mess up, they're gonna talk crazy about you. You know what I mean? That's exactly what happened with Blair Kyles. Blair Kyles running his mouth, talking about Terrence Crawford, talking about Earl Spence, talking about Jaron Ennis, and then he got stopped by Alexis Rocha. And then everybody came out. Earl Spence put out a video cooking him, and Jaron Ennis. I don't think Jerron really said anything, but he did receive backlash for that performance. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, bro. These things happen. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that railroad. I guess you could say that he did it to himself. I understand what you're saying because he's the one who determines how his performance is going to be at the end of the day. If you put on a bad performance, that is your fault. That's something that you could have controlled, and you decided to go down that route. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And before anybody could say that he was injured and that prohibited him from having a great performance, I've seen people with more dramatic injuries perform more consistently than Shakur did. Like I've seen Andre Ward have he had like a broken right hand and continue to throw it against Carl Froch. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Deontay Wilder with a 3rd-degree burn prior to a fight and still get the stoppage. Like I've seen this happen. Deontay Wilder had a metal rod in his arm, and I think after the Bermane-Stavern fight, he was throwing the right hand so much that the metal rod in his arm bended, and they had to fix that. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen people do more with crazier injuries. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even about to sit here and act like this is like a legitimate excuse or like it's totally fine that he performed that way. It's unacceptable. You know what I mean? I understand that, Scott, and you're totally right. It's just one fight. Okay, it is just one fight, right? As long as it's not a habitual thing, I understand what you're saying. But when you claiming to be, I've heard Shakur say on several instances like he's the best fighter in the world. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. If you're gonna put yourself up on that pedestal, then you have to perform as such. Like LeBron James, he got the chosen one tattoo on his body. When you proclaim yourself as the chosen one, being like you're like you one of them ones in basketball, then you got to perform like one of the ones in basketball. So when Bron underachieves, he gets criticized. You know why? Because he gives himself that crown. He calls himself the king. You got to perform like one at all times. You can't be caught slipping out here. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shakur fought power punchers before, so I don't believe that scare narrative. Did you, Scott? I want you to watch Shakur Stevenson versus Jeremiah Nakatila. I want you to watch that fight. I've been bringing it up several times, and I think it's because it's a fight that people didn't really pay attention to. If you watch that fight, Nakatila is a big puncher. He fought very similar to how he fought Edwin De Los Santos. That's why it's kind of concerning to me because you went up against one puncher and then you were very defensive-minded, real mobile, didn't really want to get any exchanges with him. And it was a lackluster type performance, but it wasn't as bad as the De Los Santos one. Like, he got criticized, but not to this extent. You know what I'm saying? And then De Los Santos, he's a big explosive puncher as well, and he didn't even, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even do anything in that fight as well. So Edwin actually came to fight. Said he couldn't make the necessary adjustments. Yeah, I think De Los Santos is part of the blame for his performance as well. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, it takes two to make an exciting fight. Maybe if De Los Santos would have did what he had to do and made the necessary adjustments, maybe he would have brought something else out of Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Shakur would have performed different, or maybe felt like, all right, now I really gotta throw punches. If De Los Santos would have made, if he would have cut that ring off better, or if he would have caught him going straight back. You know what I'm saying? There could have been a few things that De Los Santos could have did different, but I think he was just content with Shakur moving away from him. You know what I'm saying? Valdez is a puncher. I mean, he can punch. But he's not a big puncher like a Nakatila or a Edwin De Los Santos. Like, he got solid power. You know what I mean? We saw what he did to Miguel Burchell. But then again, it seemed like Valdez was being aggressive in situations, but it seemed like he was pretty respectful of Shakur Stevenson's power as well. But that's a good point. Valdez is a solid puncher. You know what I mean? He's a solid puncher. But those two guys that he went up against, he had the same approach with. So I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused as to whether like he just doesn't want to get caught by one of these dudes. I don't know, man. It's real tough to say. That's why in that video that I just put out a video a couple hours ago. Yo, go check it out, man. It's doing some great views so far for the time frame that I just put it on. It's about to hit 100 views. I said Shakur Stevenson must redeem himself after a bad performance. How is he going to be able to do so? I want to see him get in there with another puncher. You know what I mean? An aggressive, explosive power puncher. I want to see if this is who's. Was it really an injury that was the issue for Shakur, or is it that that's how he approaches big punchers? I need to notice prior to him being in those big fights against like the Gervonta Davises and Devin Haney's not a big puncher, but let's say he were to fight a Regis Prograis, who's a solid puncher. Let's say he fights a guy like Subriel Matias. Let's say he fights a guy like Isaac Cruz. I want to know exactly how Shakur is going to approach those guys. And if it's a habitual thing, I'm like, all right, we just can't really rely on him to perform well against big power punchers. So if he were to, let's say he were to face Isaac Cruz, and he stands in front of Isaac Cruz and is able to use his defense and counter him and pretty much stay aggressive with a big puncher like Isaac. All right. Shakur don't trust his chin. Okay. I can't even get mad at that statement because that's what it was looking like throughout the course of them rounds. It was like as soon as De Los Santos would faint and Shakur would automatically get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy how these things are happening with Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? Hopefully I really hope that it's not really Shakur that's acting like that because it's a big puncher. I hope it's an injury. I hope the injury is the reason why he performed this way. Because in all honesty, bro, if he goes up against Gervonta Davis and that with that mindset and that approach, it's not really gonna look too good for him. You know what I'm saying? Because Tank is he's gonna make the adjustments that De Los Santos is not able to make. He's gonna make those adjustments that Nakatillo is not able to make. He's gonna make the adjustments that Oscar Valdez was not able to make. Why? Because he is a caliber above each one of those fighters. He's a different beast, bro. He's on a different level. And Gervonta's power punching is insane. Whenever he decides to come forward, it's a different type of pressure, man. He's explosive, he's fast, and he's accurate as well. You know what I mean? He could hit you right on the button to the body or the chin. It could put you out. You know what I mean? And I don't think Shakur Stevenson to be successful against Gervonta, he's gonna have to let them hands go. That discouraged approach that he's taking, where he's gun shy and not really willing to engage or even create any type of offense, bro, you're gonna make that just an extremely easy fight for somebody like Gervonta. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully the injury is the reason. There's people on here saying that Shakur's injury is cap. You know what I mean? He came out. Let me see if I got the picture right here. Let me see if I got it. He came out and was talking about. Let me see. Is it here? Did I delete it? Oh no, he came out and said one hand banding. You see it at the bottom. It says this post has been deleted. That is something that he had put out around 7:45 on the 17th. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he's going around saying. He's a one-arm bandit, pretty much saying that he dominated De Los Santos with one hand. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, apparently he's injured. That's what he's making it seem like he's not making excuses, but that tweet right there, you're alluded to the fact that you were injured. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. 93 Octane says Shakur sold all those wolf tickets about boogeyman status only to give a piss poor performance. No thanks. You see what I'm saying? And with Octane saying that, you really can't be mad at him with that kind of statement, because when you talk the talk, when you outspoken like Shakur Stevenson saying that you cut different and you the best at this and nobody wants to fight you, you're the boogeyman, and everybody ducking, boxing full of soft boxers and stuff like that. Can't be talking like that and then put on a performance like that. You know what I'm saying? And you even criticize somebody for having a similar approach, and that was what was his name? Chris Colbert. You know what I'm saying? When Chris Colbert was out here yapping at the mouth, talking about how he's this, that, and the third, Then he goes up against Hector Garcia and then just lays an egg, completely embarrassed himself in that fight. Shakur came out and was like, "Yo, you can't be talking like that." And then, you know what I'm saying, you showing quit in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Shakur showed quit in the ring because at the end of the day he won. But the problem is you speaking as if you was gonna do you said you was gonna fuck De Los Santos up. And then when you got up in that ring, it's like you were trying to stay away from him. So that's what makes it bad. The fact that you was talking it, but you wasn't walking it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So what I really want to get into a little bit more is Diego Pacheco. Diego Pacheco is somebody, and I got to create a list one day, man, like the prospects to watch out for. You know how like Tim Bradley on Top Rank, when he commentates, he has these lists, like he pretty much gives them like a stamp of approval. I forgot what he called it, but he was like, yo, like this guy, this is who you need to watch out for. That's exactly what I want to do with Mazuma TV, man. I want to give y'all some people to check out. You know what I mean? I want y'all to really keep your eyes on these certain fighters. I don't necessarily have a list yet, but like off top, Diego Pacheco is definitely one of them. You know what I mean? And I didn't even notice Diego Pacheco is only 22 years old, which is incredible. You know what I mean? I believe he's 19-0 with 16 knockouts. And the dude's last name was like Cosares or something like that. And I vividly remember him fighting Billy Joe Saunders. And it was actually, in my opinion, I thought he was up. You know what I mean? He was real successful during the fight, giving Billy Joe issues. It was one of Billy Joe's worst performances, but Billy Joe was able to hit him with a good shot and was able to bail himself out. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that this dude was going to give Pacheco some problems, and he did. He gave Pacheco some fits throughout the fight, but Pacheco bit down, and he found a way. He was able to stop dude. You know what I'm saying? So Diego Pacheco is the real deal, man. I even seen one of his amateur fights with Lorenzo Simpson, and I thought he won. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like they gave it to Lorenzo Simpson, but Diego Pacheco showed some beautiful boxing. You know what I'm saying? If y'all see that fight on YouTube, go check it out, man. That dude is extremely skilled. You know what I'm saying? G Reyes, he said fought Berlanga too. What you talking about? Are you talking about Cosares? Who are you speaking about? But regardless, Diego Pacheco is one of them dudes, man. I really liked his performances. I believe he's with David Benavidez Sr. And Benavidez Sr., he got a nice little stable going on over there. He got Rayo. I believe he still got Rayo. He has Pacheco. He has his two sons, of course. So they got some good things going on at their gym. You know what I mean? So Diego Pacheco is the truth, man. I'm calling it right now. Oh, that was the same. Oh. Yo, I completely forgot about that. Okay. So that's why they've been going back and forth about Diego Pacheco possibly fighting Edgar Berlanga. I just thought that was because they both on the DAZN network or whatever, and they could easily make the fight happen or whatever. I didn't know that this was a common opponent. That completely slipped my mind. But regardless, yeah, he dropped Berlanga, and then Berlanga ended up going into a decision with him. Am I correct? He ended up getting a decision because, as far as I'm concerned, Edgar Berlanga ain't get a knockout in 3 years. He's gotten 5 decisions in a row. You know what I mean? Notes, is the Rayo Colbert rematch still going on? I think they were supposed to rematch on that card. They got scrapped by PBC, so I don't know. I think, right, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe Rayo and Colbert was supposed to rematch on that card with Keith Thurman and Stanionis and Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara. But they ended up scrapping it. You know what I'm saying? I guess they're going to have a different time frame, and they probably going to rematch. They're probably going to rematch next year, early next year. And this is my overall thoughts on Edgar Berlanga. I'm not a fan of Edgar Berlanga at all. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's one of them fighters that's gotten the recognition that he's gotten because of great matchmaking by Top Rank, of course. And besides that, I just think that he's well connected. You know what I'm saying? I think he knows people that knows people. And because of that, he's been able to get his name out there more than the average boxer. He's good friends with Fat Joe, from what I understand. And from there, he was able to meet Lil Wayne. And, bro, he be around all these top dudes. And he's around some get money dudes as well. You know what I'm saying? So he just got some, he got a good he got some good networking going on around him for sure. And that's nothing to really hate on with Berlanga. He found his way. You know what I mean? And for somebody who doesn't have a world title or hasn't really beat anybody of quality on his resume, he's doing pretty good for himself. You know what I'm saying? He was able to get up out of that top ranked deal. And he got a good deal. From what I heard, he got a pretty solid deal with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. And his last fight was against a dude, Jason Quigley. He dropped Jason Quigley like 3-4, I think it was like 4 times, but he wasn't able to finish him. He still got the clear unanimous decision. But my problem with Edgar Berlanga is that when he was going through that course where he went 16-0 with 16 knockouts, I think they were all like first round knockouts, right? He didn't really learn anything in those 16 fights. Part of learning as a professional fighter. Oh, okay, John Wall. Thank you for that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why I appreciate y'all in the comments. Y'all keeping me on my toes. Y'all keeping me sharp. He says Chris Colbert, Jose Venezuela rematch to be part of final Showtime telecast December 16th. So I believe that's the one that's at the Armory, correct? I think that's the one that's at the Armory. So that's intriguing. That's intriguing. I love that rematch, man. I'm happy that Rayo got that rematch because it was seeming like Cobra was trying to find his way out of that one after that fight. You know what I'm saying? I think he understand he got off with a close one, and he was like, yeah, man, let me bring my ass back down to 130. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want this smoke up here. So Rayo needs to understand the mistakes that he made, which was taking his foot off the gas way too much throughout the course of them rounds. And just, he got to be full throttle with this one, man. I don't think they rematching at 30, bro. Ain't no way. I can't see Rayo getting down to 30. If he go down to 30, he might be a dead man down there. He's a legit 35-pounder. You know what I'm saying? But to go back what I was talking about, when Edgar Berlanga was 16-0 with 16 first-round knockouts, they was projecting him to break this record or whatever. That was actually something that actually hurt him in his career. You know what I mean? It might have been real eye-catching to the fans, and that would have been like a good way to like get his reputation out there. Bro, he has 16 first-round knockouts. Oh, he's 16-0. All his knockouts were in the first round. That sound good. You know what I'm saying? But it was really detrimental to his development as a fighter because when he was knocking these dudes down, he didn't face any type of adversity at all. He didn't go through any type of difficulties with any of his opponents. He was just hitting them and they was falling down. You know what I mean? So he didn't really learn anything from them guys. You know what I mean? He didn't have no type of he didn't learn any valuable lessons. And you don't need to necessarily lose to learn a valuable lesson. Like, you can fight this guy and this guy might have a good jab against you. And you be like, damn, like, all right, now I gotta find, let me go back to the lab and learn how to defend multiple ways to defend the jab. Let me go back to the gym and learn that. Or you could go up against a guy who slip punches real well. So you could be like, all right, let me work on like head manipulation and, you know, just putting shots in the right place, working on my punch accuracy. All right, it could also be, all right, you could fight somebody who has a good high guard. So now you go back to the gym and be like, all right, man, let me work on like how to punch through the high guard or how to get good offense off with somebody who has a good high guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things you could do. Or you go up against a guy who puts hella pressure and you like, all right, man, I'm gonna need to go back to the lab and sharpen up on my inside fighting, or I'm gonna have to go back to the lab and work on my lateral movement. Edgar Berlanga didn't have any of those opportunities to see that. He didn't have any opportunity to see where his flaws was in his game because everybody that he went up against didn't give him anything to look at. Them guys was just laying down as soon as the bell rang. You know what I'm saying? So that was very detrimental to his career. So when he started fighting guys like Damon Nicholson and Romer Alexis Angulo and all them dudes, they actually was taking his power punches and was continuously coming forward. That's when Edgar started to learn. You know what I'm saying? So he's 21 fights into his career. He just started learning and developing as a professional 5 fights ago. So of course, he's not going to be performing to the level of a guy who's 21-0 or a guy who has 21 fights because he didn't learn nothing in the first 16. You know what I'm saying? So he's starting to learn now. He's a little delayed in the seasoning department. You know what I mean? So seeing a guy like Diego Pacheco, who's actually been, I honestly believe that he's been learning more in his fights. Although he may have a little less, he has 2 less fights than Edgar Berlanga. I think that he's a lot more mature. I think that he's shown more improvement throughout his career than Edgar Berlanga. I think that he'll present Berlanga a lot of problems. Berlanga is older. He's 26. I believe Diego Pacheco is 22, 23 years old. So he may have that age advantage against Pacheco where he's more mature as a man. But it's very probable that if these two were to fight, that Diego Pacheco might be able to beat Edgar Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? Berlanga is always in the fight because he's a big puncher. That's one thing that I can say about him. Obviously, he's a big puncher. He got 16 first-round knockouts. Obviously, he got some pop in his punches. There's no doubt about that. But besides that, he's very flawed defensively. In my opinion, I think he's there to be hit. I think he's extremely vulnerable in the defensive department, and I think that's something that Diego Pacheco could take advantage of. I don't know exactly how, because I know Berlanga is 6'1", but I believe a 6'1" reach. I think Diego Pacheco is similar in height. You know what I'm saying? I might have to go check that out. Really. But can somebody look up how tall Diego Pacheco is and what his reach is? Because in all honesty, from the looks of it, Diego Pacheco looks like he may have the longer reach. You know what I mean? He looked like he may have the longer reach. He seems like he's more wiry. He seems like he has he's lankier than a Berlanga. You know what I'm saying? And I think he could really use that to his advantage if he's able, because from the amateur footage that I've seen from Diego Pacheco, he has the ability to box. And he's pretty smooth with it as well. Yo, we got 19 people in the building, man. If you could hit the like button as soon as you come in, that'll be deeply appreciated. I appreciate everybody who's checking in on the platform right now. If y'all came from Southpaw TV, much respect, much love to y'all for coming over and giving the boy a chance. Oh, wow. Okay, yo. So Diego Pacheco, he's taller than I thought. He's 6'4" with a 79-inch reach. So for people that don't know, Diego Pacheco is 6'4" with a 6'7" reach. A significant reach advantage against somebody like Edgar Berlanga. That's concerning. That's a 6-inch reach advantage. That's a significant difference, man. If I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm avoiding that fight at all costs. I think that what Eddie Hearn should do, if he has Edgar Berlanga, is to continue giving them UK level dudes to continue beating up on. There's plenty of them dudes out there that he could pick from. He could fight a Liam. He could fight a Liam. He could fight a Sonny. He could fight a Callum. He could fight one of them type dudes, man. But regardless, I don't think he should be fighting Diego Pacheco anytime soon because Berlanga is looking at dudes like Canelo to possibly fight. He's looking at dudes like David Benavidez to eventually fight. He not gonna make it. I don't think he'll make it to that next level if he jump in there with Pacheco, man. Pacheco don't know how to use his height and reach. He's like Ryan Garcia. He's nothing like Ryan Garcia, my brother. Don't do that. Don't do that. Nothing like Ryan Garcia, bro. He's a lot more skilled than Ryan Garcia. He's a lot more proven than Ryan Garcia, in my opinion. And I think that he's had tougher matchmaking than Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm not even going to let you do that. Skill set department, how the way they came up in their careers, nothing. They nothing alike, bro. That's a terrible comparison. For real, for real. JA05, he says, I got Sonny beating Bam. I disagree with that. I got Bam defeating Sonny Edwards, man. But of course, you're entitled to your opinion. Why do you believe that Sonny's going to beat Bam? Can you tell me why? Uppercut was crazy. His offense in general is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He definitely got that bite down too. Whenever he see that his opportunity to seize the moment, he goes after it. You know what I mean? And that boy be in shape, bro. That Benavidez training camp over there. I would love to know what their conditioning drills is, because they guys be in top shape, man. They be in top shape. Um, Diego Pacheco was letting them hands go in the 9th round like it was the 1st round. So that lets you know that them dudes definitely in top shape for sure. But looking at, let me see. Let me put this volume down real quick. I ain't trying to get no copyright. You know what I'm saying? They already got me with the copyright one time. We ain't about to do that again. I'm about to check out Diego Pacheco, man, because from what I saw, I thought that he's saying that Pacheco don't know how to use his height and reach. Maybe it's because he didn't really need to at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? But from what I seen with him fighting Lorenzo Simpson in the amateurs, he was using his height and his reach really well. You know what I mean? I understand that that's the amateurs, but if you're doing something like that in the amateur level, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it in the pro level. You know what I'm saying? Because by then you're a lot more. Okay, let's see. G Reyes, I appreciate that, homie. Thank you. Let me see. I'm gonna peep Diego and Bam after this. I'm gonna see what flaws they got. Okay. Is a Tank Shakur fight still a 50-50 based off of core last performance? I never had it 50-50. Like, if you check my interview that I did with Southpaw and stuff like that, I always edged it a little more towards Gervonta Davis. And after seeing this performance, man, it just seemed like he's very hesitant when it comes to big power punchers. And it doesn't seem like he's really willing to engage at all. So it makes me lean it more towards Gervonta Davis in all honesty after seeing this performance. But like I said, if he really wants to redeem himself, I suggest that his next fight be up against an explosive power puncher to see how he deals with them. And if he continuously pulls out this style out the bag where he's very hesitant and not really willing to engage and being super cautious, then it's going to let me know everything I need to know. And that just going to play in the Tank favor at the end of the day. He says Sonny footwork and skills mad underrated. Bam is good, but skills pay the bills. I don't know if Sonny got a dog in him, but that's a question to think about. But skill wise, he got it. So you're saying that Bam isn't as skilled as Sonny Edwards? Have you seen Bam fight? The jab, the defense, his understanding of angles and all that stuff like that. You don't think he's skilled? I think he's one of the most skilled guys in boxing. I just think that he's in a weight class that doesn't really get much attention, so they sleep on it. And I'm watching Diego Pacheco's highlights right now, and he uses his jab. He uses his jab as a rangefinder to understand how far he is from landing his power shots. I've seen him do it. He measures. Then he launches off the right hand, left hook. Then he shot the uppercut and was able to stop him off of that. So that's skill in itself because not everybody knows how to use their lead hand as a rangefinder. You know what I mean? Some people just shoot it as a punch or just to keep somebody off of them. He actually used it to understand how close or how far he was from his opponent. And once he was able to find his range, he was able to shoot off combinations, was able to get the stoppage. That shows that he has a certain level of IQ. You know what I'm saying? So just seeing that one clip right there, of course, I didn't get to see the whole thing. But Diego Pacheco looks like the goods, man. He looks real promising. I'm sure they're going to continue building Pacheco. But right now, he looks pretty good, man. He looks pretty good. And the other fights that I saw as well, he looks all right. Sonny is a real good, slick back foot box. I think it's going to cause Bam fits, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, you entitled to the opinion. I'm not telling you wrong at all. That might just happen. This boxing, bro. We could think so many things, and then it won't turn out. It won't really turn out how we think it is. You know what I mean? I thought Spencer had the advantage going in the Bud Crawford fight. And look what happened. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, bro. We just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm definitely got Bam winning because I think that whatever Sonny Edwards does, I think that Bam will have a response for it. If he's going to be on the move, I'm sure that Robert Garcia and Bam have been working on cutting off the ring. The angles definitely benefits Bam. Bam has a really good jab as well. And he has enough power to keep somebody honest. And if Sonny Edwards, he has great hand speed as well. So if Sonny Edwards is hesitant or he sits on the ropes too long. Because I also see that Sonny Edwards like to sit up on the ropes. I think Bam could capitalize off that, man. I think that he could beat him. Now, do I think he's gonna stop Sonny Edwards? I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna stop Sonny Edwards. If he do, that'd be extremely impressive. But I think he could do enough to get a decision and become unified champion. Southpaw said, hey, yo, Bam on that A game, Bam gonna body Edwards quick. Bam the truth, dog. I'm trying to tell you. I don't know why people. He definitely got my stamp, bro. Bam, monster. And I told y'all, my dad had a 108-pounder out in Puerto Rico. His name was Jesus Soler. And they offered, at the time, I didn't really know who Bam was. I had heard about him a little bit, but they was like, yo, they offered a fight with Jesse Rodriguez or whatever. Robert Garcia had called my father and tried to make that fight happen, but there was something about the money or whatever. Like, the money that they was offering him was like pretty much like disrespectful, because we was already getting that fights prior to that. You know what I'm saying? So that would have been a great fight too, because Jesus Soler was a hell of a fighter, man. But yeah. I've been knowing about Bam ever since then. I've been watching him, and that kid is talented, bro. Extremely talented. Texas got one with him. You know what I'm saying? As long as he stays focused and doing what he need to do, he can get some fights going. He could fight Chocolatito and all them dudes. He already beat a couple guys. He beat Carlos Cuadras, who gave Chocolatito a hell of a fight, and then Sor Rungvisai, who knocked out Chocolatito. He beat him too. So, yeah. Yo, Bam certified, bro. For sure. Sonny is very slick. Bam has great footwork, darts. And with footwork darts, I don't know what that means. With mean combo, it's going to be a technical battle. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think Sonny's going to need to have something on them punches to really make Bam, you know what I'm saying, be honest. Does Sonny have the pop that it takes to make Bam honest? Either that, or he's just going to have to box the perfect fight, because people keep talking about how Sonny is a slick boxer. Bam, he's elusive in a way as well, and he could box. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's just a come forward pressure type guy. He's very methodical in how the way he approaches his game. You know what I'm saying? Okay, yeah. But anyway, let's transition over to one of my other favorite fighters, because Bam is one of my favorite fighters. Bam got way more crack than little Sonny Edwards. Yeah, we know that. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely something that's pretty much factual. I never been hit by either one of them, but I think it's safe to say that Bam Rodriguez is a bigger puncher than Sonny Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Notes goes on to say, I ain't gonna lie, December looking sturdy for boxing. Yeah, for sure, bro. From beginning to end of 2023, boxing has put on some phenomenal fights, bro. And I hope 2024 carries over the same way. You know what I mean? In February, we got Tyson Fury and Usyk. And I'm sure there's a few more that's going to be announced soon. You know what I mean? With the Saudis coming in and putting their bread up, man, we going to get some great fights, bro. And then December 23rd, Wilder, Parker, Joshua Wallen. You know what I'm saying? Gerald Miller versus Daniel Dubois. That's another good fight, man. Yeah, man. So we just going to have to wait to see what's up with that. But let's transition over to David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade. They fight us next week, man. I don't know if people really sleeping on it or whatever, but we about a week and some. I think we're a little less than a week from these guys fighting each other. And it's a hell of a fight, man. It's one of the best fights that have been made this year. And David Benavidez has been on a mission, bro. He's definitely been on a mission. His first fight this year, he beat one of the top super middleweights in the division, and Caleb Plant. It was a good competitive fight, a great fight overall, but he was able to implement his style on Caleb Plant, wear him out, almost stop him, but Caleb Plant showed a lot of dog and determination in that fight. So he was able to get the decision, a convincing one at that. You know what I'm saying? Notes goes on to say December 2nd, Ryan Garcia, December 9th, Devin Haney, December 15th, Jake Paul, December 23rd, Wilder AJ Card. I appreciate you putting that list up there. I completely forgot about Jake Paul fight date. I put a video up about it, completely forgot that he was fighting in December. So Yeah, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, and then we also got to mention Regis Prograis. Ryan Garcia, Oscar Duarte, Devin Haney, Regis Prograis, Jake Paul, and then I forgot his name. Something August, something like that. J.A. he said you could have skipped Jake Paul, gang. Yeah, but I understand why he put that because he's actually fighting a legitimate boxer. I think his name like Andre August or something like that. And then the AJ Wilder card, December 23rd. Yeah, December gonna be lit, bro. The first 2 weeks, and then yeah, I think every week in a row is actually a fight. So we gonna be busy the whole part of December. Yeah, Andre August. It's on a Friday. Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean Fridays I really don't mind. It's the Thursdays that's a concern. That's the problem. And that Kobe Leon fight, oh yeah, we gonna get to that too for sure. 2023, one of the best years of boxing. Yo, Carlos, I agree with that 1,000%. I just hope that 2024 is able to deliver the same way 2023 did, if not better. You know what I mean? There's still some fights out here that needs to be made. Um, of course, Wilder Joshua needs to be made. Fury Usyk already made. Hopefully it gets to that. Hopefully we get to see it on that date that they put up. Bivol better be. We still got to see that. We still got to see that fight. Canelo Benavidez. We still got to see that fight. I would like to see David Morrell and Caleb Plant. I want to see them. I want to see them fight. Uh, I mean, regardless of whether Demetrius Andrade win or lose, I want to see Demetrius Andrade in the mix with Canelo or fighting Jamal Charlo. I would love to see that fight. They got some history. Jermell Charlo, Terrence Crawford. There's some great fights, man. I want to see what Xander Zayas do next year. Is he gonna be doing title eliminators? I want to see Jerron Ennis, Bud Crawford. That fight could be made. Jerron Ennis, Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? 140 jam packed with guys. They can mix it up. 135, Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney. Let's see that next year. Let's see all these big fights, bro. It's a whole bunch. And hopefully them Saudis could reach out because they've been the Saudis been making fights with guys who, I mean, Deontay Wilder's a PBC fighter, but for the most part, they've been making fights with a lot of guys who are affiliated with like UK promoters or just from the UK themselves. So hopefully they can get in touch with Al Heyman and get some business going, man, because for real, there's some fights that need to be made, and these Saudis just been making them so easy. What's his name? Like His Excellency? His name like Turkey or something, man. Shout out to Turkey for putting these fights together for sure, bro. He been doing his thing. I heard like Tyson Fury and Wilder say, yo, like it felt like the fight was made in like 5 minutes. So he pretty much like, yo, how much you want? What like how much you want for this fight? Oh, I want this. Done. All right, all right. And then he picked up the other phone. Yo, how much you want for this fight? All right, done. Just making that shit happen. Put his money where his mouth is. So shout out to him for putting the money up for boxing fans to be entertained and showing the world how great boxing can truly be if the best fight each other. You know what I mean? We got 12 people in the building, man. I appreciate everybody for checking in. Not really expecting too many people to be on this live today because I did come on late. I sincerely apologize for that. You know what I mean? I just gotta do better. You know what I mean? Yo, shout out to Ralph, man. I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. I don't know if I'm tripping or what. He said, man, boxing might have to move over to Saudi Arabia to get all the big fights. That's a fact, bro. I mean, if they putting out money like that, they put money out like that where they just making Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, who've been rivals for the longest, and be on the same stage. Listen, it's some money that's being thrown out here that they can't turn down. You know what I mean? So hopefully, I mean, them Saudis get in touch with Al Heyman to make something happen because if Al and them Saudis come together, it's a wrap. I'm telling you, he already got in touch with Eddie Hearn. He already came through with Frank Warren and Bob Arum. It's like he coming down the line, bro. He might end up getting that big dog. Wilder getting $30 million against Parker. Damn, really? That's a bag to be fighting Joseph Parker, bro. Because Joseph Parker, I mean, he a name. He one of the best heavyweights. You know what I mean? He one of them. But he's not like top 5 or anything like that. So to make that type of money against that type of competition, that's fire, bro. Wilder been getting to them bags, bro. Them 3 Tyson Fury fights, he made a bag. You know what I mean? They did numbers. So he getting an additional 30 mil? Shit. I wonder how much Anthony Joshua getting for Wilder, for real, for real. Shakur performance wasn't that bad. Prop up, what's his name? Pro Up Dan or whatever his name is. If you look at Shakur Stevenson's performances, if you see him at his best, and you see how the way he performed against De Los Santos that night, then you will understand why a lot of people criticizing him. He's a lot better than that. You know what I mean? The fact that he took that approach against somebody when he promised he would fuck them up or whatever, and then you end up doing that, it's a bad look. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is that bad. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like his career over. He still won at the end of the day. He's still the WBC champion at lightweight now. This next fight, he got to be on his road to redemption. He's going to have to make a crazy statement. Boxing better hope the Saudis don't get bored of boxing and just leave. These boxers about to get spoiled. Yeah, that's always a possibility, you know what I mean, where they could feel like, oh, this, like, all right, we put up so much money and we don't feel like it's worth it. Now we're going to get up out of here, because that's what Showtime and HBO did, you know what I mean? So it's possible they may walk away, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't want to be a pessimist and just think and assume the worst. Hopefully he's extremely intrigued with boxing. Maybe he sees how promising boxing could be and continue supporting the sport, man, because right now we need all the help we could get. You know what I mean? Like HBO dip, Showtime dip. You know what I mean? There's people that's talking about they're interested in boxing, but as far as I'm concerned, PBC's still up in the air with who they going to sign a deal with. I'm a fan of outboxers, but that shit was running. Yeah, I'm a fan of outboxers too. You know what I mean? I like when guys are able to set traps off a movement and that punch off a movement, make guys completely miss. But when your offense is not matching the defense, that's when I have a problem with it. You know what I mean? So let me see. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check that Southpaw video out right now. I mean, after this. He said De Los Santos bought every feint. Well, that just shows how good Shakur Stevenson's feints are. You know what I mean? If he biting on every single one, then that means Shakur really selling them feints really well. That's a skill. A good feint, that's a skill, bro. You'd be surprised how much you could really keep somebody at bay if you got a good feint. You'd be surprised how hesitant you can make a fighter if you got a good feint. Especially if they know you got power and you feinting, bro. They could shell up and absolutely mess up their offense, had to start all over again, bro. Selling a feint is a skill. Having feints is a skill. It's a very useful tool in boxing. It's something that I teach all my guys. You know what I mean? Very, very slept on art in the sport of boxing, for sure. All right, let's get to Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez, because I was going to speak on it. I got caught up in the comments, though. According to Demetrius Andrade, from how the way he's been talking and stuff like that, they put out an all-access episode not too long ago, I believe like a week ago. He says that he believes he has the power to KO David Benavidez. You know what I mean? David Benavidez being one of the biggest super middleweights in the division. In my opinion, the best super middleweight in the division, with Canelo being included. I think it's going to be a hell of a task for Demetrius Andrade to go up against. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, we've seen David Benavidez drop. But in all honesty, and that was against, I forgot this dude's name. He had gotten dropped. Damn, it was crazy. He was a possible opponent for one of my super middleweights, but he had gotten dropped. But it was really an off-balance one. It was an off-balance shot. I've never seen David Benavidez hurt. And then I don't really see David Benavidez taking too much punishment, because I think for the most part, he's the one. Oh, Ronald Gavril. Thank you, Ro. Appreciate that. Ronald Gavril. He dropped David Benavidez. But it was really an off-balance joint. He wasn't hurt at all. But, yeah. You know what I mean? So Demetrius Andrade, he got a hell of a task in front of him. But then again, when we watch Demetrius Andrade, he pretty much drops everybody he fights. You know what I mean? So obviously he got some pop in them punches, bro. I've seen him completely obliterate dudes with left hands and things of that nature. So he definitely got some pop now. As his power going to translate to 168 pounds against a full-fledged 168-pounder, one of the biggest 168-pounders in the division. That's a completely different scenario that he's up against. He's not going up against a middleweight. He's not going up against a 154-pounder. And Demetrius Andrade is usually bigger than the typical 54 or 60. Now he's in there with a 68 who's, similar to him in height and just a way bigger man. Definitely walks around heavier. Benavidez, when he's not training, he definitely don't miss a crumb when he eat. You know what I mean? That boy put on weight. He a big boy. So this is going to be a difficult task for Demetrius Andrade. Everybody could speculate that David Benavidez is going to be drained, like I just seen in one of these comments, but he's still going to have 24 hours to rehydrate. You know what I'm saying? So he could weigh in 167, 168, whatever, what have you. But the night of the fight, you already know Benavidez is going to be in the mid-80s to low 90s. You know what I'm saying? And he looks big when he's in the ring. You can see him when he weigh in. You can see his abs, his arms be all cut up. And then the day of the fight, his abs are gone. His abs are gone. His muscles look real filled in his muscles looking real filled in with liquid. He look real nice and hydrated. Bro, you already know David Benavidez is going to be in that motherfucker 20 to 25 pounds over where he weighed in at. And that's going to be another obstacle for Demetrius Andrade to overcome. It's a tall task for him. But Andrade is a great talent in boxing. I think that if he would have made the right business moves, in all honesty, I think he would have been a lot better off in his career. I think he would have been more recognized. I think he would have been perceived more as a great fighter amongst the people. I think a lot of people sleep on Demetrius Andrade because he hasn't been able to put himself in the opportunities that he can show how great he is. You know what I mean? Octane, Andrade got dropped against Demond Nicholson. Yeah, but he also dropped Demond Nicholson from what I understand. So that was his first fight at 168 pounds. And Demond Nicholson is a battle-tested super middleweight. I've seen him fight multiple times. He should go to 75 and fight Bivol. He had been speaking on that. Excuse me. He was speaking on that, and he was saying that he said that he wants, after this fight, I'm assuming he said he wants 2 more fights at super middleweight, Canelo and David Morrell, and that he's moving up to 75. So that's not going to be too long from now. I mean, considering that he might fight twice a year, I mean, you should see him going into the light heavyweight division early 2025. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. And that's assuming that he gets the Canelo and Morrell fight, because if both of them fights fall through, he might move up to 75 quicker. You know what I mean? But David, yeah, J.A., that's a fact. David on a mission. He definitely on a mission, bro. He put his money where his mouth is. That shit that he talking, he attempting to walk it. You gotta respect men in boxing that say they want to do something, and then when the opportunity presents itself, they pull the trigger. You know what I mean? Like when he said that he was going after Caleb Plant, he went and he got it done. Caleb Plant he did his part as well. He said that he was going to take on Demetrius Andrade. Everybody was talking about, oh man, that's too dangerous of a fight. He ain't gonna fight Demetrius Andrade. Then he ended up making the fight happen. I clearly remember seeing that in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they just talking. He ain't gonna fight Andrade. They actually ended up signing the contract with him. So you gotta respect this man, bro. He don't have to fight Demetrius Andrade. Is Demetrius Andrade ranked in the WBC? Like, was he like the number 1 contender at WBC? No, he could have went around him. But he chose to fight him because he understands the threat that Andrade is. And you got to respect any type of fighter that takes that type of approach. Like, you know what? I could easily avoid you, but because I know you a threat and I think I'm the best, I'm going to fight you. You know what I mean? So anybody who takes that old school approach, man, I'm a fan of them. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of them. Well, not all of them. You know what I mean? Not all of them, but you got my respect. Like, I'm not a real big fan of Devin Haney. I'm not. But I do respect the chances that he took. You know what I mean? I respect the chances that he took. Was Kambosos the most difficult opponent for Devin Haney to face? No. I've been on this platform multiple times and told you that Kambosos is tailor-made for somebody like Haney. However, the circumstances that he was placed in, a lot of fighters nowadays wouldn't have done it. Considering the fact that he had to sign that deal with Top Rank that pretty much lined him up with Vasyl Lomachenko. They was trying to line him. They was like, all right, you might win these belts, but we're going to put Lomachenko on you because we believe he could beat you. You know what I'm saying? So they put him in that type of deal. He took it. The percentage that he took, that percentage, a lot of people wouldn't have accepted that percentage if they was in Devin Haney's shoes. He took the percentage. Also, going into that man's territory, I heard like boxing coaches say, "Man, I wouldn't bring my fighter to Australia. No, man, they might rob my kid. I ain't taking him over there." He still went over there because he genuinely believed that there was nothing that Kambosos could do that could beat him. So you got to respect that approach Devin Haney took, and it's paying off dividends now. You know what I'm saying? Because he was the undisputed champion of the world, and then he automatically got in line to fight for the WBC at 140. So it's paying off for him. Let me see. AJ also steps up to the plate. What is you talking about, Notes? What is you talking about? The biggest fight that he could have possibly made, he ain't even step up for. I disagree with that. If David gets past Andrade, Canelo declines, how about Morrell? I wouldn't mind that at all. I do think that David Morrell is unproven in a sense. Like he looks like the truth. He looks like the goods. He has a lot of great tools in his toolbox. He's a skilled fighter. Cuban dude, he definitely know what he's doing. But in terms of like who he's fought and like is he really battle tested or not? I don't really think so, man. I think that he's got some more proving to do, in my honest opinion. But if they want to fast track him like that, then and the fights there, I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? I just think that if David beats up Morrell or stops him or just smokes him, blows him out the water, he's not really going to get any credit for that. You know what I'm saying? He's not really going to get no credit for that at all. And they're going to say that dude was green or he wasn't ready. You know what I mean? So that's just what I think. That's just what I think in all honesty, man. I don't think he'll get any credit. And if he loses to David Morrell, they're going to be like, oh, he was overrated this whole time. He lost to a dude with like 8 fights. You know what I mean? Yo, it's 21 people in the building, man. I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Hit the like button as soon as you come in. I would appreciate that dearly. You know what I'm saying? Sauce K, he says, well, if Charlo get past Jose, would you like to see Maul versus David if Saul declines? This fight with Jamal and Jose is at 163 pounds, right? So technically, this is a super middleweight contest. I got to see how he looks against Jose. It depends on the fashion in which he beats him. If he struggles with Jose and he narrows out a decision against him, I really don't want to see him fight David because that's going to be a bad job for him. But if he just straight ice Jose and he looks like who he was in the past, like the Jamal that fought K9 and fought J-Rock and Javier Centeno and all that, the Sergey Derevchenko Jamal, then I would like to see that. Why not? You know what I mean? But I do think that David Benavidez at this point in time at 168, he has bigger fish to fry. And I think that fish is Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? A note said he gonna ice him, Mark. Trust me. We gotta see, bro. This I'm not gonna sit there and just be confident in that answer because Jamal, not only has he not been in the ring for a long time, but he doesn't seem like himself. You know what I mean? But I'm not sure. I don't know the man personally, but he seems a little off. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. So I'm a little bit skeptical about him, but it could be very possible that he may come back better. He may come back looking like his regular self. He might not be affected by the long layoff. We've seen some fighters that come off long layoffs and didn't really look affected, like Mikey Garcia, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward. Like, these things happen. You know what I mean? So it all depends on him. AJ, the best fighter to ever box. Yo, bro, I wish you ain't have a wrench. I'd time your ass out. Wait, man, hold up. I might have to time him out for like 2 minutes. He's talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that to you. You lucky you my guy. I really would time you out for like 60 seconds. Make you think about what you just said, my brother. You know what I mean? I ain't appreciate. And then you gonna say that AJ my favorite fighter. You lucky I ain't time you out when I first read that. You know what I'm saying? I ignored all that cuz you ain't gonna keep on doing that cuz you know what I mean? I don't really got the time to be doing that, but today I got time, cuz. So if you keep on with the nut shit, I might have to make an example out of you. So stop playing with me, cuz. You know what I mean? Make him come back a better man. Yeah. Make him analyze the situation and correct his mistakes. You feel me? He out here bugging. You gotta chill. You know what I'm saying? And that's on 5-5. Yeah. He wild. Yeah, Slime wild. Sometimes you gotta put Slime in his place because he takes shit a little too far sometimes. You know what I mean? You gotta punch him in the chest sometimes, like, yo, relax. And he come back down to earth and shit. You know what I mean? He one of them type dudes. But anyway, yeah. Yo, so I'm gonna ask y'all in the comments, man. There's 18 people on the live right now. I want y'all percentage wise, 0 to 100. What do y'all believe is the percentage that Demetrius Andrade beats David Benavidez? I want to see it. 0 to 100, man. And be objective, man. I know there's some David Benavidez fans in here or whatever, but I want y'all to be as objective as possible. Really analyze both of these guys' styles and give me a percentage. What's the percentage that you got Andrade winning? Because I see some people on here that believe that Andrade will upset David Benavidez. I've seen a few people in my comments. You know what I'm saying? So let me see these percentages, man. Let me see. Rouse said Jamal don't have it anymore if he has a close fight with Jose. This Jose first time fighting a full-fledged middleweight with power. Jamal should put Jose on a highlight reel. Yo, Ralph, I agree with you. If he struggles with Jose Benavidez, who's lost clearly to guys like Danny Garcia, it's not a good look for him. You know what I'm saying? But let's look over at these percentages. But for 100%, Ralph, I agree with you. Note says 1%. That's petty. Note's a petty dude. Note's cutthroat out here. J.A. says 20%. Okay, that's very slim. Sauce K, 30%. Scotty Carlito, 30%. Ralph gives him 35%. Once David figures him out, it's a wrap. Andrade don't got the gas team to keep up with Benavidez's pace. Yeah, he said AJ sitting next to me right now, bro. Yo, Slime Nose be tripping. Nose ain't say that. No, he definitely did. Y'all moderators, y'all taking advantage, bro. You know what? We gonna talk in the group chat. Y'all wilding. Boo Boo has to sell out. He has to find a way to push David backwards. I don't know, Octane. I don't know. I think him attempting to push Benavidez backwards, he might get hurt in the process of doing that. I don't think that's something that he really want to do. You know what I mean? He's not a full-fledged super middleweight. This is his second fight at super middleweight. Andrade does look big. You know what I mean? He look all cut up and all that, but that's because he can afford to eat more. It's because he can afford to hydrate more. You know what I mean? A lot of that is just excessive water in his system right now. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be extremely difficult to push that man back because before that man takes a step back, you either got to hit this man with something he ain't never felt before, or you might get hit with some shit that you don't like in the midst of trying to do that. I think Boo Boo is going to have to facilitate as much movement as possible. I think he's going to have to take the outboxer approach because the pushing back situation, he might get hit with a mean body shot. He might get hit with a 12-punch combination. I don't think that's something that he really could afford doing against David Benavidez. You know what I mean? David Benavidez ain't the biggest puncher. He's not going to concuss you in one shot, but he got one that could stink, that could shock you, and then he could finish you off. He got a great killer instinct. I think attempting to push David Benavidez back will be a fatal mistake. I think he needs to take the mobile approach. But we're going to get into the keys to victory later on this week for sure. I've been studying both of these guys, and I can see how both of them could win. And I don't think pushing David Benavidez back is a good way. I think you pretty much giving him what he want. Note says 20%. Okay, that's his real percentage. Okay, cool. Respect to the Mazuma mob. Yo, Tesla, shout out to you, homie. I ain't heard from you in a while. Hope everything is well with you and your family. Yeah, you definitely read. I ain't even see it till you said it, Slime. You tripping. Boo Boo not made for selling out. He gonna get hurt trying to do that. That's what I'm saying. Andrade got to use his awkward style and angles to his advantage, try to catch Benavidez or something he don't see coming. Scotty, that's more of the approach that I want to see Demetrius Andrade take because I think that's his only legit chance. I think trying to push him back, you might get hit with some hot shit. I don't think that's what you want to do, bro. Not against David Benavidez, man. You could probably try to push another fighter back, but when that's David Benavidez bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? If somebody walked to him, you're doing him a favor. Andrade has to get on his bicycle. He's gonna have to make sure that he's keeping Benavidez off balance as much as possible. And how he's able to keep him off balance as much as possible is not allowing Benavidez to plant his feet. If Andrade is continuously on the move, Benavidez won't be able to plant his feet. You know what I mean? I think he got to take advantage of that high guard that David Benavidez tries to defend himself with. Whether he pulls the guard down and comes over the top, whether he goes around the high guard, whether he punches in between the high guard, he's gonna have to do a whole lot, man. This is gonna be an extremely tough fight. But I do respect Andrade, and if David Benavidez underestimates him, it could be a long night for Benavidez. You know what I mean? I think that, that's another thing. Let me put this in the comments for y'all to respond to as well. True or false? Demetrius Andrade is better than Caleb Plant. True or false? True or false? Demetrius Andrade is better than Caleb Plant. Let's see. Okay, we got two mixed ones already. Yeah, I remember that with Lemieux, Ralph. But you got to understand, Lemieux, all he knows is come forward. He don't know how to go backwards. Even with Triple G, he didn't even want to go backwards. So I knew he was tailor-made for him. Note says false. So he believes Caleb Plant is better than Andrade. So in all honesty, you may be looking at this fight as a step back from Caleb Plant. Okay. Scotty Carlilo says true. So he believes Demetrius Andrade is better than Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? I want to see a couple more. Let me get a couple more answers, y'all. What you think, Slime? What you think, Ralph? You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think. Tesla, what you think? Who you think is better? I want to hear it. We got 16 people in the building. Let me get a few responses before I give y'all my answer. Yeah. Listen, Notes, I'm not telling you wrong at all. This is all opinion based. Ain't no right answers to this. I just want to get an understanding from what the people think. I want to get a understanding from what the mob and the nation think. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Scotty Carlito said Plant should have been out of there by the 8th or 9th round. Ref let him hold Benavidez for dear life. Yeah, he did. There was a whole lot of holding going on that the ref allowed to happen. You know what I mean? But when you gotta survive, when you in there with David Benavidez, you completely fatigued, and this man got a full gas tank. You gotta do what you can to survive, because nobody wants to get stopped. Nobody wants to get knocked out. But for real, them last few rounds that Caleb Plant took, that might have took some time off of his career. I think it would have been better if he would have got stopped in the 8th round, because the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, he took a beating, man. Okay. Ralph, true. It's not a knock on Plant, but I believe Andrade is more skilled than him. Okay. Andrade is trickier than Plant. More wrinkles to his game. Okay. I'm one of the ones that actually believe Demetrius Andrade is better than Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? Now, if you believe otherwise, that's your opinion. You know what I mean? We're not going to agree on everything. It's okay. But in all honesty, I've been watching Demetrius Andrade and just looking at what Plant and Andrade possess. I just think that Andrade is more of he is trickier, like Octane said. That's a fact. But I just think that he also has more tools in his toolbox. Like when you watch Caleb Plant, you already know what he's going to come with. You know what I'm saying? He got the movement. He got good combination punches. He got some pop as well. He got a little bit of pop. Like if he catch you with a good shot, he could put you out for sure. Good jab. He's just a well-rounded boxer with some respectable power. On the other hand, Demetrius Andrade gives you the same thing. He's also a southpaw. I think he has better pop than Caleb Plant, for real, because like I said, he drops just about everybody he fights. You know what I mean? Now, is he able to finish him? That's a different story, but Caleb Plant's not the biggest finisher neither. You know what I mean? Besides that Darrell win, I can't really recall any of his knockouts that he had when he fought at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So Demetrius Andrade, I think that he has the awkward style in his bag. That's something that Caleb Plant doesn't really do. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like Caleb Plant has one mode. You know what I mean? I think his conditioning is better than Caleb Plant's. I think his speed I think he's more explosive than Caleb Plant. I think that his combination punching is better than Caleb Plant. I think he got faster hands than Caleb Plant. That's just what I personally think. You know what I mean? The only thing that I would really say is that Caleb Plant is really a legitimate 168. Ralph, I think you're totally right. I think Andrade hits harder than Caleb Plant. I do think that. I do think that. Like, if you watch Andrade for real, you see how the way these dudes react when they get hit by him. He got some crack in that left hand, bro. I'm telling you. But Andrade could punch, bro. He could really punch. And I've heard that from people he sparred with. You know what I mean? That he could crack. So, and those were 16 to 18 ounce gloves on. So, if you punch it with 16 to 18s, I can only imagine what you're doing with some 10 ounce gloves. You know what I'm saying? Some professional 10 ounce gloves. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, all right. So I'm not even gonna ask this one because this shit. I was gonna ask, what's the percentage do y'all believe Demetrius Andrade? Okay, no, fuck it, let's do it, bro. Just for the sake of, you know what I mean, just keeping y'all interacting with me. What do y'all think is the percentage that Demetrius Andrade could drop or knock out David Benavidez? 0 to 100. What do you think is the chance that David Benavidez could get dropped or stopped by Demetrius Andrade? What is y'all percentages? Now, take into consideration that there are people saying that David Benavidez is weight drained. There's a lot of people believing that David Benavidez is overtraining. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that believe that. And if you are an overtrained fighter against Demetrius Andrade, you might have a short or a long night, depending on how things how Andrade is feeling. Okay, so he got two percentages. Note says 1.27. If you throw a decimal in that motherfucker, Note's a petty dude. He threw an extra. He put a whole decimal on top of that whole number. That's crazy. Scotty said negative 30%. So he said impossible. That's pretty much how you throw a negative number in there. That means impossible. That's funny, man. That's funny. We got 16 people in here. Let me see a couple more. Percentages, man. What do y'all think? Is there anybody in here that actually has like a solid, like positive percentage? Is there anybody in here that believes at all that Demetrius Andrade can knock out Benavidez? Is there anybody? I mean, yeah, it's boxing. You never know. Of course. That's a fact. You know what I mean? I ain't think Bud was gonna do that to Earl. I knew that he had the possibility to, but in that fashion, how the way he had Earl tumbling all around the ring, I didn't think that was gonna happen, bro. Scotty says I'll bring it up to 10% because anything could happen. Okay, well that's the highest percentage I've seen right now. David is a volume puncher. That means there's going to be a lot of opportunity for counters. That's a great point, Octane. You are most vulnerable while you're punching. And being that David Benavidez throws a lot of punches, he could be susceptible to a lot of counters. That makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure Demetrius Andrade believes that as well. And I think he's going to really try to use that to his advantage. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to counter with a straight left hand or if he tries to loop the left hand over the top, considering that David Benavidez is slightly taller. And considering that when David Benavidez, one of his little defensive flaws that he makes is that he'll pull straight back. You know what I'm saying? He'll pull straight back with his hands down and stuff of that nature. I think Andrade could take advantage of Benavidez's defensive flaws. But like I said, he's gonna have to go through some fire, man. He's gonna have to go through some fire going up against Benavidez, man. And I think Canelo understands that, so that's why I think that at first he was really trying to avoid that fight at all costs because he understood whether he beats Benavidez or not, that fight gonna take something from me, bro. That fight's gonna take something from me. In all honesty, bro, I ain't really want to say this, but David Benavidez, I'm shocked that he hasn't like really hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? Based off of his style, I'm surprised he hasn't really like put somebody in the morgue. You know what I'm saying? Like not even like exaggerating capping because We seen volume punchers do that, like Subriel. Subriel caught a body, bro. Like he caught a body, and he's a volume puncher. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised somebody like Benavidez hasn't done that to nobody. David Morrell almost did that to one of them European dudes not too long ago. I'm surprised he hasn't really hurt a fighter or completely take them off this earth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say the word because they be watching. Southstar said that after watching Ngannou knock down Fury, anything could happen in boxing. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say I don't think anybody should say that something's impossible, but if you think it's a small percentage, you're entitled to that. You know what I mean? So the strongest percentage I've seen so far was 10%. Well, Southstar says, I got 50%, anything can happen. Okay. Okay. That's fair, I guess. Yeah. So it seems like the general consensus on Mazuma TV is that David Benavidez is gonna win. Now, man, I see David Benavidez winning. Okay, you asking me for my prediction. That's perfect. That's what I was about to give you. I see David Benavidez winning. Now, I'm struggling to understand the fashion in which he does it. I feel like I'm confident he's going to win. I feel like he's going to win. But the way in which he does it, I can't really imagine. I don't know why. It's like I hit a roadblock as soon as I start to visualize the different scenarios because I never really seen Demetrius Andrade in trouble. I never seen Demetrius Andrade in a situation where somebody was capitalizing off of his mistakes or he looked extremely vulnerable. A lot of these fights, like even if he got knocked down, it still seemed like the momentum was on his side. You know what I'm saying? Kyle says, he says, I like your YouTube banner. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Those are all like my favorite fighters on there, man. So if you like it, I appreciate that. But it all depends on Demetrius Andrade's conditioning. I've seen him fatigued in fights before, but like for the most part, it seems like his conditioning holds up real well. But however, he hasn't went up against a guy who's a pressure fighter like David Benavidez, who never really lets you breathe. So in all honesty, I could probably see if I really had to make a prediction right now for you, I could see David Benavidez stopping Demetrius Andrade in 10 rounds, 10 to 11 rounds. You know what I'm saying? I could really see it getting bad around like the 8th or no, I could really see it getting bad around like the 9th and that triggering David Benavidez to step on the gas even more and eventually wearing out Demetrius Andrade. So that's going to be my prediction. As a matter of fact, that's going to be my prediction right here. I'm going to make a video about it anyway, but I got 10th to 11th round stoppage for David Benavidez against Demetrius Andrade. That's the prediction right there. I think that's what's gonna happen, man. Because the problem, what was so difficult about facing David Benavidez is that he gets stronger as the rounds go on. There's guys who get weaker as the fight goes on. You know what I'm saying? There's guys who actually let off the gas during the later rounds because they need to preserve their energy. That's not a concern for somebody like Benavidez. He's a high volume puncher with some solid pop as well with accurate body shots. I don't think Demetrius Andrade is going to be ready for being up against a guy who's as big as Benavidez, is a solid puncher, and has the volume to match it. I don't know if he's going to have any sparring partners that's going to match that intensity that David Benavidez is going to bring to the ring. You know what I mean? But I can see Demetrius Andrade being in great shape in this fight. I can see him really trying his best, and I can see him having success during the fight. I don't think this is going to be a blowout by any means. But as the rounds go on and go on and go on, I just see it leaning more and more towards Benavidez. That's just what I personally think, man. And he's gonna present this difficulty for a lot of these fighters because this is what I say all the time. These boxers don't really want to fight. You know what I'm saying? And now a lot of people don't really understand what I say by that. What I'm saying is a lot of boxers, they're content with boxing guys, fighting at their pace, fighting their specific style that they're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Throwing their little jabs, and they're comfortable in the style in which that they fight. If you're a boxer puncher, they're going to fight their little boxer puncher style. They counter punchers. They want to fight their counter punching style. The problem is when you go up against somebody like David Benavidez, he's going to make you fight. He's going to make a counter puncher fight. He's going to make an outboxer fight. He's going to make what other style? You're going to make a defensive specialist fight. You know what I'm saying? So he makes a lot of fighters uncomfortable, make them feel like their back is against the wall. So if a guy, let's say a guy has a pace of throwing 20 punches around, right? 20 punches around. That's where they like. That's where they comfortable at. That's their thing. That's the pace that they're most content at. With the pressure that David Benavidez puts on you, he's forcing you to throw 35, 40 punches around. Now, considering the fact that you're used to fighting at that certain pace, it's going to really test your conditioning. It's really going to test your conditioning. Are you really in shape like you think you are? Because you may throw 200 punches in 12 rounds. Against David Benavidez, you might have to throw 500 punches in 12 rounds. Are you in shape to throw those punches while simultaneously defending yourself against a guy who's throwing – he could probably throw 100 punches per round if he really needed to. Are you ready to deal with that? Are you ready to put out that type of offense? Are you in shape to deal with that kind of offense coming at you? It's a difficult task. And this is why a lot of dudes don't want to fight David Benavidez. This is why a lot of these dudes try to discredit Benavidez or, you know what I mean, act like he doesn't bring anything to the table. He's not a champion, all this stuff like that. Bro, it's a stylistic thing that a lot of these fighters that you deem to be great or good fighters, they will crumble against a style like David Benavidez. They will. Legs going to be cooked. That's a fact. But Andrade, to be successful, his legs are going to have to be able to move for 15 rounds. I know it's a 12-round fight, but just to give himself that reassurance, he has to be able to know that he can move around the ring without being fatigued or anything, showing any signs of fatigue for at least 15 rounds to be in shape for 12 with Benavidez, bro. That's what I personally believe. I hope he's working on his conditioning to the best of his ability in this fight, bro. Because if not, he's going to drown. It's going to be a bad joint. I promise you that. You know what I mean? I have never seen Benavidez use the clinch or retreat in the ring. He just fights. Yeah, I don't see that man taking back steps. I've seen Alexis Angulo like pushing back just a little bit, but like Benavidez was staying square on the ropes with his high guard like this, and he'll fire off combinations, bring his hand back, put back against the ropes like this. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. I've seen him against the ropes, against aggressive guys, but never really seen him in a situation where he looked like he couldn't press the action or anything like that. You know what I mean? He might have been sitting on the ropes as a way to recover or rest or find an opening. You know what I mean? But nah, I never really seen him. I've seen him in clinches. Like I've seen Caleb Plant put him in a clinch and he'll just work with the other hand. He'd be like, like this hand will be like held up, will be held by a Plant, and then he'll just rip with the left hand. Boom, 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 boom. And he'll just hit the body, hit up top. You know what I'm saying? He'll double, triple the shots up until Plant lets go of the hand, and then he'll continue pressing forward. But nah, I never really seen him use his clinch or retreat, and that might hurt him as he moves up and weight and goes up against bigger punches. That might hurt him. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, he's getting away with it. Yep, I don't think Canelo is scared, but he is lazy and he knows exactly how the Benavidez fight gonna go. Yeah, from what I understand, Canelo is not too big on road work, and Canelo gets weaker as the rounds go on. That's what I honestly believe. I think the unless he wears you out and you gassed out in the later rounds, if you're in shape for 12 plus rounds and you in top shape and you get through 12 rounds, I think the later you go into the fight with Canelo, the safer you are. That's what I think. I think that's why Canelo starts off real slow. You know what I'm saying? He don't really throw too many punches. unless he's like absolutely in range to shoot something. Um, he doesn't have the best gas tank. His conditioning is not the best. You know what I mean? That's why he walked, and that's been happening since he's been at the higher weight class. He walks you down with the high guard. He gets you against the ropes. He'll shoot, 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 reset. Shoot, 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 reset. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't throw many punches, and that's for a reason, bro. Because at 54, he used to let his hands go. He knocked out Plant in the 11th, but Plant is another one who gets weak as the rounds go on. He fatigues as the rounds go on. If you need any fights for point of reference, you can look at, of course, the David Benavidez fight. You can see the Canelo fight. You can also see the Jose Euskadigi fight. You can also see the Caleb Truax fight. Caleb Plant gets tired as the rounds go on. He gets weaker as the rounds go on. That man has a conditioning issue. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's why I feel like boxers should learn how to fight in each style. They should still use the style they're comfortable in, but if a fighter takes away what you do best, it won't discourage you. Yeah, I always encourage my amateurs to be well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have their own style. They all fight different, but I always show them how to fight on the inside. I show them how to fight on the outside. I teach them how to move to their left, to their right. I teach them how to counterpunch. I teach them how to push fighters back, work in the clinch, all of that. You know what I'm saying? How to defend multiple punch, how to defend one punch multiple ways, all that. You know what I'm saying? It's very good to be well-rounded, because if this one thing might not work, the next thing you pull out your toolbox may be your tool to victory. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Chasing someone around the ring and withstanding a high-volume puncher is two different types of conditioning. That's a fact. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. Yeah. All right, we back. He says Bivol would cause fits for Benavidez. That's possible, but I heard they sparred before, and from what I understand from people that was actually there, they told me Benavidez put the beats on him, man. That's what I heard. You know what I mean? But sparring completely different from an actual fight. Who knows what was going on or what Bivol was working on, but nonetheless, I heard Benavidez cooked that boy. The only way Canelo will fight Benavidez is if Andrade exposes some holes in Benavidez's game that Canelo feels like he could capitalize on. I hope that's not true, Ralph. I hope that's not true. Canelo has a 3-fight PBC deal. And if he's able to complete that deal without fighting Benavidez, bro, that's a complete waste of money from PBC. It's a disservice to Benavidez. And PBC can't let that man get off that deal without fighting Benavidez. That's what PBC cannot allow Canelo to leave that deal without fighting Benavidez, bro. You know You know what I mean? That's what I personally believe. Yo, Southpaw be wildin'. I ain't even gonna read that. Yeah. Yeah, Southpaw, wild boy. We got 22 people in the building, man. Hit the like button as soon as you come in. It is very much appreciated. Kayo, I think that's your name. I don't know. Kylo, I don't know. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. Carlo, he says, imagine Canelo versus Carlos Adames. Yeah, don't nobody want to see that, bro. Like, that's a terrible fight. And what was crazy was that was a fight that was like being talked about right after the Jermell Charlo fight. I'm like, bro, y'all serious? This what y'all want? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that. But they also was talking about Jaime Munguia. So they thinking about bringing fighters from outside of PBC to fight Canelo. So it's like, bro, what is we really doing, bro? Like, what we really doing? You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of PBC fighters for him to fight. Not Adames, not moving up anybody else from weight classes. There's legitimate 168 guys that he could fight. You know what I'm saying? And David Benavidez is one of them. Now, if you don't want to give Morrell a shot, whatever, bro, we got Morrell. They got David Benavidez. Shit. I mean, you already beat Caleb Plant, but he there. So it's like, what we really doing? You know what I mean? What we really doing? That's all I want to know. Benavidez got flaws, but unfortunately for Canelo, he's tailor-made for David. I think so too, bro. And a lot of people like, you know, they attached to Canelo. The Canelo been around longer, and you know, David Benavidez is essentially like the young dude on the block or whatever. But bro, when you really look at this fight, Benavidez should light that boy up, bro. Like Benavidez is gonna light Canelo up. Especially if Canelo walks to him with the high guard, bro, it's gonna be a bad joint, bro. I'm telling you. So that's just what I personally think. That's what I personally think. Canelo probably wants to make Benavidez the last fight of his career because he will have to leave it all in the ring. When we finally see the fight, we know it's Canelo's last fight. Yo, on the real though, Scotty, you might be on to something. I think he understands that Benavidez is like that next up and coming Mexican fighter that he might have to pass the torch to. Just like look at it, bro. Like look at that last All Access episode. He doing road work with Marco Antonio Barrera, Mexican legend. He on FaceTime with Juan Manuel Marquez, who's a legend. Mike Tyson's nicknamed him the Mexican Monster. Like, bro, he gets so much respect from the legends. It's ridiculous, bro. It's like they know he the truth. You know what I'm saying? They know, like, you know what I mean? Like, them goats recognize, they know when a great fighter's on the horizon. You know why? Because they've been in them shoes before. Oscar De La Hoya having dinner with Benavidez, with his wife and all that, bro. Listen, they know David Benavidez is the truth, bro. I'm telling you. And as soon as he beats Canelo, he's going to shoot to a level of superstardom that I think is going to surpass a lot of these dudes. Because not only is he going to get recognized by, you know, the casual boxing fans and just the boxing fans in general in the U.S., them people from Mexico are going to back him 1,000%, although he wasn't born there and he's not fully Mexican, bro, because he waved that Mexican flag and he beat one of Mexico's, like, top dudes, bro, he going to be a superstar, man. He going to be a superstar in that country, bro. I'm telling you. And every fight after that is going to be a pay-per-view worthy of fight. I'm telling you. And Benavidez understands it. That's why he wants that fight so bad. Besides having all the belts and all that, besides the money and all that, he understands that this is like that's really going to solidify his legacy in this boxing shit. Every single way possible, he's gonna benefit. Canelo said he's fighting until 37. Well, Canelo's what? What is he? How old is Canelo? Like 33, 34? Like what's the how old is Canelo right now? Somebody answer that. Somebody Google that and come back to me, man. How old is Canelo? 32, 33, 34. He between 32 and 34. For sure. Now if that's the case, he don't got much time left. He don't got that much time left. He fights 1 to 2 times a year. Okay, he's 33. He's 33. No says he's 33. He got 4 years. So if he's fighting twice a year and he got 4 years, he got 8 fights left in his career. He got 8 fights in his career. So by the time he gets, I think by 2025, Benavidez is going to be a light heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? And although Canelo has fought at light heavyweight before, I don't think he'll go up there to face somebody like David Benavidez unless that motherfucker got a rehydration clause. That's what I think. You know what I mean? Ralph goes on to say it will be a Chavez versus De La Hoya situation. Canelo is Chavez, the current Mexican star. David is Oscar, the up and coming Mexican fighter. When David wins, he's the new Mexican star. That's a perfect example. Perfect example. Because to get even more specific with you, Chavez is from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? He's like full-blooded Mexican, like a full-blooded Mexican like Canelo. And De La Hoya was the Mexican American, like David Benavidez is. But the difference was that Mexico, they hated De La Hoya for beating Chavez, bro. They were sending him all types of threats and things of that nature. He got death threats and all, if we being honest. And it seems like Benavidez is getting a lot of acceptance from Mexico. It seems like the opposite of Oscar. You know what I mean? I think it's because Chavez was a lot more loved in Mexico than Canelo. It seems like a lot of people seems like a lot of people in Mexico don't really like Canelo. And it was the opposite with Chavez. He was loved in Mexico by everybody. You know what I mean? So slightly different situation. I think Mexico will be more accepting of David than they was of Oscar, because not a lot of people in Mexico like Canelo. And they didn't accept Oscar because Chavez was loved. He was godly in Mexico at the time, and he still is. You know what I mean? Let me see. Remember when Canelo tried to do Badu Jack? Crazy? Yeah, I remember that. And Badu was like, man, I'm 40 years old. You don't get the fuck out of my face with all that. He turned that shit down. And he should have. You know what I mean? Canelo been getting away with a lot of snakish stuff for so long. And he think because like he's one of the top dogs in boxing that he could just do whatever he wants. He could put whatever stipulations he wants. And Badu Jack was the only one that was like, man, I ain't doing none of that. Like, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how much money you offer me. Like, I'm not doing none of that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not fair. Like, I'm not doing that. He was the only one that really stood on principles. These other guys is pretty much like sold themselves for that, for L. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jermell, he laid down for that check, bro. And it was crazy was he performed real similar to like Sergey Kovalev, except he just ain't get knocked out. You know what I mean? Like Kovalev, he ain't load up on no right hands. He wasn't the crusher, bro. He just looked like he was trying to jab and keep Canelo off him. It looked exactly like what Jermell was doing. Jermell didn't really look like he was loading up on anything, and was just like trying to keep him off of him. It was strange, bro. Like very strange. And then they both ended up getting hurt or whatever, but Kovalev got knocked out. Jermell didn't. Jermell was just on survival mode. But their approach to Canelo was real similar, which I find real funny. I feel like Badu could beat him, though, or I'm bugging. I don't know, bro. I don't even know, like, how Canelo would even look at cruiserweight, bro. That's, like, insane to even think about. You know what I'm saying? Note says not the Mel we know. Yeah, that ain't the Mel that fought Charles Hadley. That ain't the Mel that fought Lubin. That ain't the Mel that fought Tony Harrison in either one of those fights, bro. Nothing. That wasn't even the Charlo that fought Castaño, 1 or 2. So, yeah, that definitely wasn't the one we know. Because if he'd have fought that way, he might have had a better chance. But I don't know. Maybe he just respect Canelo too much, man. That's his daddy on the low. I don't really know what to say about that. And Kovalev had the power to get Canelo's respect. He definitely did. He was the crusher, bro. Like, he was one of the biggest punchers in his weight class. It was him and Adonis Stevenson. They was both beating everybody up, stopping everybody, all types of stuff. Like, come on now. But, all right, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. That's enough. That's enough for the live for today, man. I'm getting a little bit tired. I definitely need some rest so I can get ready for tomorrow and put some videos out and all that stuff like that. So I'm gonna get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody who tuned in. We got 21 people on the live. And that was like, you know what I mean? That was the consistent rate of people that was in the entire time. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm very appreciative of the mob and the nation for coming through and checking in on the boy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Slime, shout out to Notes, shout out to Ralph. Um, Everybody that was in here just consistently showing love. Scotty Carlito, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate everybody that was tuned in. Ralph, for sure. J805. Shout out to everybody that was on here, man. Shout out to Southpaw TV for consistently supporting my channel. It's very much appreciated. 93 Octane, of course. South Star. Everybody, man. I appreciate it. Yo, Tesla, I appreciate you as well, homie. Thank you. Write your ideas down. Be safe and successful. I appreciate that. Likewise, my brother. Thank you. Let me get up out of here, man. Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob for tuning in. This is Mazuma TV, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a blessed night. Peace.